Jeeps are renowned for being one of the most popular vehicles to modify with aftermarket parts and accessories. MOPAR and nearly every company in the aftermarket game has their name in the hat for Jeep mods, from suspension lift kits to vehicle off-road protection to cup holder inserts. If you can imagine it, the accessory probably exists. Now, this may be no news for some, but with the Rubicon trim package, Jeep offers this MOPAR Winch-Capable modular steel front bumper as a factory upgrade to the standard plastic bumper. The modular bumper aspect allows you to go quickly from a full-length steel bumper down to a stubby. This bumper is also available for individual sale, whether you go through MOPAR Direct or an online outlet. In today's video, I'll be going over some pros and cons of this bumper, as well as how to remove the bumper end caps. So if you've been on the fence on whether or not to equip your JT or JL order for that matter, or your current JT or JL that may not have this bumper and you want to upgrade, or you're just curious how to remove the end caps from your bumper, stick around. I just said bumper sticker. Hey, welcome back to another video here on the Gator Overland channel. I'm John, and if you're watching this today, you're probably wondering if this winch-capable modular steel front bumper is a worthy upgrade from the factory or is an aftermarket upgrade for your current JT or JL. Or you're just curious how easy it is to remove the bumper end caps to make it a stubby. But before I get to turning any wrenches today, I'm going to go over a few pros and cons that I found with this bumper. And rather than waste any more time, let's get those cons out of the way. Alright, con numero uno. And while I say this is a con, this is coming from a guy who washes his truck maybe once a month, maybe every other month, so it's not a really big deal. But I figured for informative purposes, I'd at least make it known. And this is more specific to the full-length bumper of the Overland and Rubicon models, like this right here. I can already hear the chatter from the viewers saying, "It's a Jeep, what do you expect?" Well, it's not about that. It's just more of an informative part of this little segment right here. But here it goes. These ends, they stay dirty. You could have just washed your truck and the clearing of the tires immediately makes these ends dirty. Now, I mentioned earlier it's more specific to the Overland and Rubicon models. You go with the Sport S, Jeep puts a little bitty air dam in between here that fuses the bumper and the fender together. And it also works as probably a little mud splash guard, so you probably won't have to worry about it as much. But being as today we're about to remove these end pieces, these cons will be eliminated, so no big deal. Con number two. Throughout the order process, I tried to keep my budget as low as possible while still maximizing on as many cool gadgets I could get with the Rubicon package. Along the way, I incurred a few compromises, one of which being this bumper here. In order to get this $795 bumper option, you are required to opt for the 1045 premium LED lighting group, which I say it as a con. After having it now, it's not a con. It's just unfortunate that I had to add $30 extra a month in order to get both of them, because that was the only way of getting this bumper. But after driving with the LED lighting group, it's literally day and night difference over the halogen bulbs that come standard with the Jeep. I would highly recommend it to anyone. So con, it might be a pro. All right, final con. This is a winch-capable bumper. Emphasis winch-capable, not winch-actual. If you want to put a winch on this bumper, you're still required to purchase what is called a winch plate, which could run you upwards of $200 to $300 depending on what brand or outlet you go through. Off-road bumpers of equivalent value typically come with an integrated plate for the winch to mount on without any additional accessories required. So that does go down as a con. Not a big one though. Now that we got those cons out of the way, how about some pros? My first pro would be that the bumper is made of steel. Give me the added confidence that you could do a little more trail bashing and have a little bit more forgiveness, and probably coming out unscathed. Or, in the unfortunate circumstance that you have a fender bender, probably okay. Pro number two, and this is an obvious one. The bumper is modular, allowing you to remove the bumper end caps to make it a stubby bumper. This makes for a better approach angle when hitting it from the side off-road, as well as making more room for steering and articulation of oversized tires without the need to directly install a suspension lift to avoid any rubbing off-road. Jeep claims that there is a 43-degree approach angle, which is this area right here in the tire, which we will document, as well as checking out the approach angle right here in front of the bumper end cap and the tire before and after we remove the bumper end caps. Alright, the final pro. And though I mentioned it earlier as a con, there's an upside to having the winch-capable bumper, even though you have to buy some additional components to make the winch work out with it. I do like the design and the fact that it puts the winch at a low-profile situation here behind the bumper, protecting it from any off-road obstructions, as well as minimizing the interference of airflow to the radiator. Any of you Gladiator drivers that are going to be towing or carrying a lot of weight for long periods of time Your radiator is your lifeblood, and keeping it as cool as possible will let you go a long way without having to worry about anything. So with that, it's a total advantage to having that behind the bumper. All right, let's do a few approach angle simulations and get these bumper end caps off. As mentioned, Jeep claims that there is an approximate 43-degree approach angle. And the approach angle, pardon my bucket skills here, but the approach angle is the angle between the furthest point out from the vehicle, which would be the bumper, and where your tire first contacts an obstacle. So placing a straight edge or a board up against the tire and moving it up to where it first contacts the vehicle. At this point, because the center of the vehicle sticks out further than the sides of the vehicle, we have it right around there, and it's about 43 degrees that you can see there. But in front of the tire is a different story, which is where the end cap is. After removal of the end caps, we will obviously have the ability to have almost a 90-degree approach angle at the side. So before we take off the end caps, I wanted to see what approach angle we have just in front of the tire. So it's about 53 degrees. So it's a 10-degree difference from the center of the truck to the side. And then once we remove the end caps there, we'll have no obstructions in front of the tire, and you'll be able to approach obstacles from the side at almost 90 degrees, and then you still have to worry about the 43-degree approach angle in the middle. So with that said, let's get these caps off. Some of you probably have the T45 Torx bit required to remove the bumper end caps, but if you don't, fret not, Jeep has you covered. It provides you this wonderful little tool pouch with an assorted set of bits and ratcheting driver for removing the top and other accessories, but it does include the T45 Torx bit for removing the bumper end caps. Removal of the bumper end caps is actually a really simple process, requiring you to remove 16 T45 Torx bolts, 8 on each side, starting with 2 right here, 2 on top, 2 out front, and 2 respectively on the bottom. Do that to both sides, and you should just be able to pull the end cap off. Once the end caps are removed, you can go back with the bolts and put them in their respective places to complete the bolted look. I have already gone through with PB Blaster and hit them just in the case that there is any grime or oxidation on the bolts prior to doing this project. And I have read through a few of the forum follies saying do not use an impact wrench to remove these bolts, because there has been some cases at the manufacturer where the bolts were actually cross-threaded, and it will make the nut backing that's fixed to the inside of the bumper actually come unfixed and spin freely, making it damn near impossible to remove your bumper end caps. Well, we don't want that, so it's recommended to use your hand wrench or a light air ratchet. With that said, let's get these bumper end caps off. All right, should be able to just pull these things off, and it was really that simple. Boom. All right, what do you think about that? Just come back, clean it all up, put our bolts back in there, and call this a finished project. So, yep. As you can see, it's not worth actually doing the approach angle segment right here to figure out how much it is, because there's absolutely nothing in front. So call it 90 degrees angle if you're approaching it from around a 45 or so offset. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Well, that about wraps things up. Other than a slight sunburn, as you can see, and a few choice words for that T45 Torx bolt that came cross-threaded from the manufacturer, I'd say it's a pretty successful project. If you enjoyed today's video or found it informative or helpful in making your decision to go with the winch-capable modular steel front bumper or how to remove the bumper ends, give us a big thumbs up. Let us know how we're doing. For a heads up on any future reviews, installs, and adventures, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and you can follow us along our journey. Remember, we at Gator Overland encourage each and every one of you to take a daily moment to unplug and reconnect with the outdoors, even if it's just for a few minutes. As always, we thank you for watching. Have fun, keep it safe, and just go. Thanks, y'all.